What's going on, man? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Got a good morning, Tuesday morning, 10:30 a.m. Hope everybody's deep in the shift, doing well. Shout out to everybody on the West Coast who's just getting up and getting to work. Shout out to everybody in Central Time, same thing, just getting to work. And shout out to all my people on the East Coast, man. Probably already at the job doing their thing. I'm your host, Ryan Fraser, Ryan from the Six, man. You know what it is. Big Sixes in the building. Welcome to Boxing Talk Up North. We got a big show, man. We talking about the PBC and what they got going on. Obviously, a lot of news yesterday on that side, coming from the camps, coming from different, outlets. And shout out to the PBC, man, because they still here. There's some people who want them gone out of boxing, and it's really weird, bro. It's really weird to see, but I'm happy that they're here. I'm happy they're here. But shout out to everybody in the building, man. If you just came here for the first time, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Yeah, I gotta get a schedule going, man. That's something I'm working on in the background. But for what it is right now, I'm just trying to go live as much as I can, try to give out content as much as I can, and just build the brand, man. But if it's your first time here, man, make sure you smash that like button like Ann Wolf. You know what I'm talking about?
Did not really fight her.
Oh, big right hand. One punch. That is it. Forget about the count. It is over.
Yeah, that's kind of like what Boots was doing to Lima this weekend. You know what I'm saying? He was putting hands, foot, paws, all types of shit on him, like my man Treese would say, yo. But we got some people in the building, man. Let's do a little roll call. We got my man Maz. He said from the six. You know what it is, man. My man Malcolm in the building. Big Sixes. He said, shout outs, man. You doing a show last night and now today in the AM. Yeah, man. Yeah, I was like thinking about it. I'm like, man, there's a lot of news still to talk about. We talked about Boots last night most of the time. The landscape of 154, obviously a huge talking point right now. And it's deserving, man. Those guys are doing their thing. It's the best division in boxing. So they just gotta start shaking, man, and start fighting each other. Shout out to Shawa in the building. Queens in the house. You know what's up. Go follow Shawa. She got a great channel. She be dropping content as well and talking big boxing, man. But here's the topics we're gonna get into today. Obviously, the PBC is the main topic. The Fundora, Thurman. It looks like it's off. Pitbull and Roach look like they getting some added names to the undercard. And then Pacquiao, supposedly in the new year, early next year. Maybe we think in January. But we don't know if it's Rolly or not. I thought for sure Rolly would be the front runner. But the the WBA came out and they just mandated Rolly to fight Shakum Giasov. And if you know anything about the Shakum Giasov situation, like he took step aside money already for Stanionis to fight Boots Ennis. So date that back to whatever you want to date it to. And then I think he took he didn't take, but he got sidestepped, man, because literally the WBA put up the belt for Ryan and Rolly to fight when that probably should have been Shakum Giasov. So he got, what I'm saying, he's been getting the low end of it, and it just sucks, man. Shout out to my man D Block. He on X. He just reposted the stream, man. I appreciate D Block. Make sure y'all go follow him. He's big over there on X, man, and he got his channel, his YouTube channel cooking up that he's gonna bring out soon, man. Man, Malcolm, he said, you think Rolly vacates for that fight via Pac-Man? I don't know, man. I hope not, but I mean, we've seen Fundora vacate to stay with the PBC and fight Tim Tszyu. So I think anything can happen at this point, and it's kind of weird, man. But yeah, the PBC, obviously, what's going down with them is they had a fight scheduled for October 25th. Keith Thurman returning in the big lights in Las Vegas against Sebastian Fundora, who's the current WBC champion. And they said Fundora got an injury, a contusion in his hand, I think what the injury was. I'm not sure how long that heals. I'm not sure what that even entails, that type of injury. Keith Thurman did go on record. He did a video where he questions Sebastian Fundora injury and says, "Don't duck me." And he wants Fundora to show the facts, man. And he even went as far as calling, you know what I'm saying, that team out crazy names. But shout out to Keith Thurman. He doing what he needs to do to keep the fight. The co-main event, Oshaki Foster, Stephen Coolboy Fulton. Obviously, that was set for super featherweight, but that's off the card now, and that's going to be postponed to the Isaac Cruz versus Lamont Roach card. Which beefing's that up? That's already a good card, so they add that to the lineup. I'm still not sure if that's a pay-per-view worthy card, but when you look at it as a whole, man, it's something you can watch for sure. Like you look at the Janet Beck and Lara, they doing a unification, and then you got Cool Boy and Foster, they fighting for a title. Isaac Cruz and Roach, the main event, they fighting for the interim. But Isaac Cruz is the name, especially out there with the Mexican community. So that's why he's gonna get the headline in Texas, man. And it makes sense. But I hope the PBC doesn't leave us hanging with the whole Foster and no, not Foster, but Frank Martin. That's who I'm worried about. Frank Martin is a guy who's probably going to be left in the dust and is not going to benefit from this Sebastian Fundora fight going down. I don't know, man. It's really crazy. But I think the PBC needs to go. They should have started with this route with making the pay-per-view cards, load them up, because that's the only way you're going to get the fans to buy it or buy into it. But we'll see, man. Shout out to my man Bones in the building. What's going on, man? Salute Malcolm for reposting the stream. I appreciate that. Got my man Vega. He in the building. Big Vega. Said Ryan is boxing YouTube's Jesus right now. Yo, you funny, man. My man Malcolm said that Roach card fire. Yeah, when we add in on Oshaki Foster and Cool Boy, I think so, man. I think that makes the card better. You already got Shane Mosley and Ramos fighting on there. You got Janet Beck and Lara fighting on there. And now you add Oshaki, Fulton. You got to think they the co-main. Maybe not. Maybe Lara and Janet Beck are the co-main. We'll see what it's like, what it shakes out as. But I think when you load the cards up like that, it's easier for us to buy it, man. Shawa said Fundora Thurman under Manny's card. Oh man, crying face emoji. Yeah, I know. But they gotta do that. They gotta load them cards up now if they want us to pay the money. They can't be giving us the crap they've been giving us. Fundora 2-time with a questionable injury, Vegas says. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with I mean, he had the first injury was what, his nose for the Crawford fight last year or something like that. He had a broken nose that, took a little longer to heal. And then now, yeah, we got this, man. We ain't got no doctor's note. My man Malcolm said Fundora and Virgil, Oscar and Scampson got me thinking these guys don't mix it with anyway. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. I don't know if Virgil will ever call out Fundora. I don't know, man. I've never seen him do it. Shawa said Frank probably end up on the Manny card too. Yeah, I hope so. At least that'd be sad. That'd be like another year where Frank Martin don't fight, right? So I don't know, man. I hope he gets pushed to the Texas card on the prelims, maybe. Because I think Frank Martin need to get active, at least get a fight in this year, and then he can move to next year and hopefully get way more fights in. But if you gotta wait till the Manny card, then hey, that's what they got for him. Man, Vegas said, remember when Fundora needed 6 months for a bloody nose? Yeah. Yeah, that nose injury was questionable. Roach versus Isaac Cruz card lit. Yes, sir. Shout out to Boxing Wiz in the building. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. But yeah, let's get into the first topic at hand. You know what I'm saying? We got a couple people in the building. Make sure you smash that like button when you come in. I really appreciate y'all, man. But we're gonna talk about Manny versus Rolly potentially early 2026. Rolly Romero has spoken and saying that he would love the opportunity to fight Manny Pacquiao. Would be like fighting a legend, would be great. Um, yeah, man, we gotta respect Rolly Romero because he is a two division champ. And I don't think he'll go the Barrios route in the fight. I think he will go in there to try to hurt Manny Pacquiao, and that'd be great, man. That'd be great. I don't know, man. I don't know what's gonna go on next with Manny Pacquiao, but it sounds like he's doing the PBC pay-per-view, and it should be good, man. Shawa said facts. 75 bones is too much. Yeah, I think Martin on the prelims. Okay, on the Isaac Cruz. Hopefully, man. Hopefully he can do that because it's better for him to get in the ring. But yeah, what's up with the hat? I never seen. Yeah, man. I just got this one. Just gonna try to grab a few more, see what they look like before I send them out to the public. You know what I'm saying? Say, whoa, CBS Sports just dropped an article saying Manny Pacquiao's back with Bob Arum. Nah, man. I think Manny Pacquiao gonna stay with the PBC, and the PBC gonna satisfy him. Shout out to my man Malcolm becoming a member, bro. 2 months. He's already a member. Sorry, 2 months membership. He keep rocking out with us. Salute. I can feel it coming in the air. Vega, he said, "Oh, it's not CBS." The Filipino site said it. It's CBN Sports. Oh, okay. Nah, I don't think Manny's I don't know, man. Manny's like what, 47? I don't think he's switching over anytime soon. I think he's staying where he's at now. The PBC probably treating him well. They giving him good percents. I don't know, man. Manny Pacquiao is in 2025 still fighting, man. And we got, I'm saying, Floyd Mayweather out here making fun of Roy Jones, making fun of Manny Pacquiao in the whip. Yeah, man, he just living his best life. I think Pacquiao need to go sit down somewhere. So that's what we need Rolly Romero to do. He needs to stop Pacquiao. He needs to get him out of boxing, and just not get him out of boxing, but retire him from professional boxing, bro. I'd like to see Manny Pacquiao. From what I hear, he got a promotional company and he got his son fighting on it. So I'd like to see him in around the sport. Obviously, it's always good to have our legends around these young guys, man. Teach them the ropes. But for sure, man, Manny Pacquiao doesn't deserve to be in the ring with these young guys. But I mean, Barrios made that possible because not only did he compete, he had a draw, man. And some people probably think that Pacquiao won the fight. And that's on Barrios. That's not on nobody else. So I think for sure that's a problem in its own self, right? Like when we got Manny Pacquiao competing against these champions, our current champions, as a 46, 47-year-old guy, it don't look good, man. It don't look good. So I think Rolly Romero got to do everybody just do and go out here and stop Pacquiao, man. If he gets that fight or takes it. But yeah, Manny Pacquiao, he just gotta give it up, man. But he won't. He won't if you guys are gonna let him stay around, he's gonna stay around. As we've seen in the past, man. Guys like Roy Jones stayed around too long, in my opinion. You even had B Hop. Wasn't B Hop like 50 something years old when he won a title? Like, yeah, he stayed around too long too, man. I think that Pacquiao needs to get packed up, man. But we'll see who can do it. It'd be nice if Rolly Romero could do it. Rolly Romero turning out to be Tank's best win, being a two division champ. Beating Ryan Garcia also. And if he can beat Pacquiao, that's even more legendary, bro. Man, Malcolm said, but he can get with Turk. Turk gonna make him fight Dev Norman winner. Yo, that's what I'm saying. Turk gonna feed him to the wolves, man. He can't do that. You need to join a podcast. Let the young guys take over. Yeah, Malcolm. I believe that, man. My man Vegas said he wouldn't need to vacate to fight Pacquiao. Giasov would get compensation with money and an interim title opportunity, in my opinion. Yeah, that's true. Giasov should have been had the interim opportunity, but yeah, he would get more step aside money for sure, man. Shawa said, LOL, I just said, make Pacquiao sit in his sit his behind down. Nah, for real, he got to go sit down somewhere. Go back into politics, doing what he was doing. I just don't think that old man should be getting punched like that, man. We got WP 3636 in the building. What's going on, my man? Appreciate you. We got Yancey in the building. Yancey on the rope. And on Yancey. He said, hey, TBV came over here since Ness fucked up. What's good, right? Yeah, now shout out to Ness, man. He's out in Panama, getting the stem cells, man. Hope all is well with him. His mother, his wife. Hope they're having a good time, man. Enjoying relaxing time, right? So it's well needed. You know, Ness works hard, man. My man, Dr. Boxing Talk in the building. He said 3 division. Put some respect on Rolly. Yeah, I don't respect that Reggie. Didn't he win a Reggie? Oh, I know he won a 140 belt. Now he got a 147 because he got elevated. Maybe he had a 35. I don't know, man. Rolly, you know, the WBA, that's their problem, man. They got too many belts. Yancey said, man, Rolly's worst 2 division champ of all time, but he's fighting. I give him that. I know, man, and you know what the scary part about that is if he gets the Manny Pacquiao fight and he wins, you know, he arguably gonna be a better 2 division champ than Timothy Bradley. Cause you know, that's Bradley's, in my opinion, that was kind of his key into the Hall of Fame. Is like he beat Manny Pacquiao. But now you got like Rolly. Rolly might come out here and stop him. If he stops Manny Pacquiao, then shoot. You know, he got probably a better resume than Timothy Bradley, man. That sounds crazy to say, but it's just what it is. Shout out the hangout spot, Johnny in the building. Salute to you, Ryan. Salute to the chat. Vegas said he had an interim title at 135, but the WBA erased it and made him mandatory for Tank instead. Okay. All right, that's what happened. Him and Tank fought for the titles. That's how Tank got his 35 title. I don't know, man. WBA is confusing with it. They got too many titles, man. But yeah, I think Rolly Romero and Manny, I think for sure that fight's on the horizon, man. But the WBA, they kind of made things a little bit difficult by, you know, giving Shakam Giasov. And I don't think like it's a bad thing that they mandated it because Shakam Giasov, he's been let's be honest, man, people forgot about him. That dude, he took step aside money and Stanionis fought Jerron Ennis. And then literally, bro, like I think the same year, months later, the WBA made the world belt. Remember they made that world belt for the Times Square event? Ryan Garcia and Rolly. And Rolly was well aware of it because I think it was Doug Fisher who works with the ring. He wasn't even recognizing that world belt. He was like, yeah, this ain't even a title fight. It's like it's just a good fight. And then Rolly had to correct him. He was like, nah, this is for the WBA world title fight. And I was like, what the heck? It's the world belt. But it was really just another belt, another name for Reggie belt. And I felt like Shakam Giasov, he should have been offered that opportunity with him being the mandatory for Stanionis. And then, you know, Boots inherited that mandatory by beating Stanionis. But we never heard from Giasov. So Rolly got the belt. Ennis moved out the division. And, you know, Rolly got elevated to full champ. Shakam Giasov never got that opportunity, even though he's been there. So, you know, for the WBA to do it now, I still don't know if we'll get it, bro. Don't know if we'll get that fight. But like you said, man, Vegas said he'll get compensated for sure for taking step aside money. The hangout spot said I interviewed Rolly, and he didn't want to talk about the Manny fight at all. Okay. And that's crazy because it's like I heard him in other interviews talking about it. So maybe now they in deep negotiation stage. Maybe now the fight's almost at the finish line. And he can't really speak on it. Or maybe they gonna have to take that WBA route, or they're trying to figure out how to get out that fight with Giasov. We'll see, man. We'll see. But we'll see, bro. Shout out to Boxing Wiz in the building. Salute, brother. Salute. I didn't give you your horns already. If you on X Spaces, we got 23 people on X. Please repost the stream so we can get more people in here and get more conversation going, man. Shout out to David Garcia in the building. What's going on, my brother? Could it really be Loma versus Pac-Man? I don't know, man. They both old, man. You know what I'm saying? He was acting weird, man. Johnny said Rolly was acting weird. Yeah. I don't know, man. Rolly's he's a different individual for sure, man. But shout out to Rolly. It looked like he be at all the fights, man. So he was out there in Florida. I wonder if he works out there as well. But yeah, I feel like he go to all the fights. We usually see Rolly always popping up on these interviews, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's good for Rolly, man, because he's feeding the public information and helping the media out. That's always important, man. Always important. So let's talk about this Fundora, yo. Fundora Keith Thurman situation. What do y'all feel about it? Do you guys feel the PBC told Fundora, yo, man, say you injured so I can go ahead and reroute this fight, make it a little bit bigger to the public? Or do you guys think he really got an injury, Fundora? Because I mean, it kind of looks crazy the way they spread out the fights on that card, man, and how they're saying, Foster and Fulton will move over to Isaac. Just the bad press they were getting for making that event a pay-per-view event to just scrapping it all together. It sounds wild, and I think that's what we're all skeptical about, man. It's like, yo, let's be real, man. Like we just don't know what the PBC are doing. And look, I'm not no PBC hater, man. I'm the first one to tell you we need them in boxing because the roster is deep. You need those guys, man. But I just wish they would load up their shows more. But I think we need that money reset in boxing. I think the guys want too much money, and it's at a point obviously where it's affecting a lot of the guys, man, because now we're talking about inactivity. And I think that's worse than, holding out to not get paid. It's like, how long are you going to hold out to not get paid? I mean, unless you got things set up, you like Danny Garcia, you good, you got investments, you got money coming in regardless, then yeah, you probably not looking at boxing the same way. But for the guys who don't, and this is their job, this is what they do, it's how they feed their family. It's got to be rough, man, when you calling them phones or when them phones is not ringing no more. You was getting those fights, and now you're not getting no calls. It's like, damn, bro, when we gonna get back in the ring? So I think the Sebastian Fundora and Keith Thurman fight fallout sucks for Keith Thurman. Obviously, he just got back into the mix. This is a bigger fight for him. This is a time for him to prove, he's still that guy. He can be a 2-division champ. A big opportunity to fight against one of the best in the division, Sebastian Fundora. And Keith is worried. In his video, he's saying, "Don't duck me." So it sounds to me like Keith is like thinking that there's some fishy things going on behind. He don't believe in the injury. And if he don't believe in the injury, it's kind of like, why should we? And then like Vega said, we seen Fundora have, a bloody nose, broken nose that took 6 months to heal, which I never heard of. So it's like, man, what is going on with Sebastian Fundora? Shout out to Let's Be Real in the building, man. He said DBT, DHS, Ron Salute. What's going on, man? Yeah, it's my guys, man. Dr. Boxing Talk and the Hangout Spot. Make sure you go check those channels out, bro. Boxing Wear said, I think Fundora needs to post proof to show the fans he messed up a lot up. Yeah, man, he messed a lot up. And honestly, we championed Tim Tszyu when he kept the event going, when Thurman got injured. He kept the event going despite what happened to him. And yeah, man, you would hope that they would have somebody else that can step in and fight Keith, but maybe they did. And Keith Thurman just said, no, I want to fight Fundora. My man, Dr. Boxing Talk, he said, I rock with Rolly. My interview with him was fun. Yeah, salute to you, man. Shout out to Rolly Romero. Let's be real, say I'm gonna wipe my feet at the door and smash that like. Hey, I appreciate you. And if you just came in, make sure you smash that like button like Ann Wolf. Y'all know how I like to do it, man. What
Did
Ann
not
Wolf?
really fight her.
Oh, big right hand. One punch. That is it. Forget about the count. It is over.
Yeah, my man David Garcia. He said stealing fighters by overpaying them is coming back to kick them in the ass. Sad downfall for PBC. Yeah, that's how they got into business, right? And it's kind of like that's how the zone got in too, and then Eddie had to scale back. I mean, a lot of these guys they come in with the big bags. It's only like Turkey Ali Sheik that's the one who's came in with the ridiculous bags. Fundora beat a journeyman and a broken man this year. So how good really is he? I had Thurman winning. Okay. Nah, that's a proven point, man. I would say like Sebastian Fundora, you know, really all the champions are questionable right now. Like they haven't really nobody's really separated themselves at 154. You know, despite what you want to say about Boots Ennis being there and Virgil there, they still haven't separated themselves either because they haven't beat champs. And Boots Ennis only got one fight at 54. Virgil's got two. He's got three or four. I think Virgil's got four fights at 54. And I still think like Lubin is obviously the one who could separate. You know that if Virgil goes in that fight and stops Lubin, then obviously he separates himself because he's beaten Madrimov, a former champ, and Lubin, who's been a long time contender at 154, right? So it's a division that's up for grabs for sure. And I think Fundora is one of the better guys in the division. But yeah, David Garcia, you got a point, man. He hasn't really separated himself from the pack. So there's still a lot of questions. My man WP said, I don't care how much money a person has. If you aren't bringing in consistent revenue stream, it's impossible to keep the lifestyle the top boxers come accustomed to. No, that's facts, man. He said, slow, short money better than no money. Yeah, bro, that's the way I think about it too. It's like it's just better to be active than to not be active. And I feel like, if you take a couple, not tune-ups, but like lesser money fights, couple fights a year, and then take the big one. If you're fighting 3 times a year, I know it's a lot of camp, bro. It's a lot of stuff in between. Trying to get back to recover 100%. But that's a lifestyle of a fighter, and I think a lot of that these guys in today's boxing, they get paid so much they don't even think they got to live that lifestyle of a boxer anymore because of the big bags. But I totally disagree, man. I think like a lot of changes is going on in the world economically. Boxing is gonna have to adjust as well, just like everybody else. And these fighters, eventually, they're gonna have to adjust, man. It's gonna like the reset is possibly here. It's gonna be here, and we're gonna see who's gonna survive it. That's for sure. My man David Garcia said it's safe to say Virgil has the best current win at 154 of Madrimov. Yeah, yeah, Madrimov is a former champ for sure. But then I mean you could say on the flip side the same with didn't Backroom beat Tim Tszyu, who was a former champ too? And I think Tim Tszyu probably had a better resume at 54 than Madrimov did. But yeah, no, I could agree with that, man. Virgil got a case. That's what I'm trying to say. Like nobody really separating themselves. So all these guys got a case. That's why they all need to start lining up and fighting each other. Fundora needs to provide that paperwork, Shawa said, and fight someone worth finding at the division. Nah, that's a fact. And I think like Keith Thurman, even if Fundora beat Keith Thurman, I think some people would say, oh, Keith Thurman's washed. He never really been in the ring. The last couple years, he ain't really fought. So a lot of people would give Fundora, some slack if he struggled, especially with Keith Thurman. But Keith Thurman is obviously an accomplished fighter, man. Guy's a unified champ. He's fought all the guys at 147. He was the poster boy at PBC, and I kind of feel like PBC is trying to do a torch passing from Fundora to Thurman because Fundora has been very, very promoted heavily with the PBC this year. I think he did 3 events with them. He did the Cordell Booker, Tim Zoo, and then now he was about to headline his own event. So they've been moving him in that direction, keeping him active, and yeah, would have been nice to see. Shawa said, "Yeah, Backram beating Tim was nice." Yeah, because of the way he beat him for sure. We got my man Decent in the building, man. Hey, make sure y'all smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, man. Definitely need to get a schedule up so y'all can follow me more. But as of right now, I'm just trying to go live when I can go live, man. This shift work is not easy to work around, I tell y'all. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all for being in the building, talking this boxing talk with me. And shout out to everybody in the boxing community, man. We got a great community in boxing. But the Isaac Cruz and Roach card, obviously, we just spoke about it briefly. Foster and Shocky Foster and Fulton will be added. Man, I don't even care where you put that fight on the card. That's a great fight to add to this card. But does it make this card still worth your money in pay-per-view? I think that's the biggest problem, with boxing is like we got so many guys who think they superstars, guys who think they got the big push, and they get to make the big pay-per-view event, and the crowd just like, nah, we ain't buying it, man. We not bugging for that. We didn't want that. We didn't ask for that. I think a lot of people feel that way about the Roach and Cruz fight. They feel like we didn't ask for it, and then because we didn't ask for it, you're gonna make it on pay-per-view. It's even worse, right? It's a good fight in my opinion. But yeah, we didn't ask for it. We wanted Tank and Roach, right? Like we all did. We want that rematch because of the way the first fight went. It's got more substance to it in the second fight because a lot of us thought, Tank Davis lost that fight. But for Lamont Roach, I think this is the best second option. Isaac Cruz, he's a come forward fighter. He's gonna be the bull in the fight. Roach has got the skills clearly to beat him. And I think for Lamont Roach, even though it's a dangerous fight moving up to 140, if he can slay him, if he can beat him easy, you know what I'm saying? It's going to look a little bit different, bro. People are going to look at Tank Davis a little bit different. Even though Tank Davis had an injury when he first Pitbull Cruz, I don't think people really they're not going to remember that. They not going to hold it. They're going to be like, bro, it don't matter. Like Lamont Roach, a lot of people felt like he beat Tank Davis. And if they look at the way that Roach beats Isaac Cruz, if it's any easier, they're going to want that rematch, bro. They're going to recall for it. For Roach, he in a win-win because he wasn't supposed to even be here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought once he didn't get the Tank fight, PBC was going to get him the short end of the stick, let him walk to wherever he came from. Clearly, he had a contract with Tank Davis for a rematch. So he did the right thing, man. He went to court for that. Or I heard he was going to go to court for that. I don't know if he actually did. But the PBC, obviously, they called Tank or Roach up and said, yo, we got a favor for you, man. We're going to give you this fight with Isaac Cruz, pay-per-view, headline event. I don't know what they offered him, purse. I don't care. But they gave him a main event slot. So I think if you Lamont Roach, you just got to take the fight, bro. And they probably gave him a bunch of other names as well. But Isaac Cruz was probably the one that stood out the most. Shout out to Champ Ross in the building. What's going on, man? He said Cruz Roach card feels more like a old HBO After Dark card. Yeah, good old fights, but shouldn't be pay-per-view. Nah, I agree with you, man. It's a great card. But I just don't know if those guys hold the value for me to reach my pocket and spend $80, man. Shawa said Isak has accumulated a cult following. I'm not mad at Roach at 40. No, man, 40 is a good division. And I think that put Roach in line for what? Sabril Matias? Because it'd be a WBC intern fight. Um, yeah, that put him in with Sabril. And then, if you can get a Turkey Al Sheik fight, but I don't know. Sabril still got freaking business to do with Dalton Smith. And then Alberto Pollo, apparently he got the rematch, right? From what Turkey Al Sheik was saying. So it's just getting messy. But yeah, I think for sure Roach did the right thing in taking this fight. There's no sense in waiting on Tank Davis. We don't even know what he's gonna do after this Jake Paul situation. If he's gonna return to boxing or not, right? He may just get paid so much money in this Jake Paul fight that, he just retires or takes a break. And then what's Roach supposed to do? Wait on Tank Davis to come back? Nah, he's got to continue his career. So shout out to him, man, for taking the Isaac Cruz fight. I think it's a good fight down in Texas, but like my man Champ Ross said, it's not pay-per-view worthy, but the card is great because it's got good fights, bro. You're gonna get, Lara and Jenna Beck, so we're gonna find out who's possibly the best at 160. And then you got Oshaki Foster and Fulton. That was already a fight we were looking at and saying, yeah, we want to see this. You got Shane Mosley and Ramos. They fighting on the card too. So, Shane Mosley Jr., he's one of the guys who've been in and around boxing for a long time, the Contender Series. I think he just beat Danny Jacobs recently. He's always been in around the mix at 160. And then Ramos, who's moving up from 154, who a lot of people think was shrinking down to make 154. He's making his first fight at 160 against Shane Mosley Jr., a good name to the boxing community. And Ramos is a heavy favorite, man. He's looking to step on him to get a good win. And maybe we get some action with Carlos Adames, man. Maybe Carlos Adames will fight Ramos down the road, in-house PBC fight. Shawa said, man, Antoine still wants a rematch with Pollo. Yeah, I don't blame him. He wants his get back. Yeah, it's messy. Yeah, it's messy at the top for sure. Turkey Al Sheik got everybody you got everybody doing things, man. You got this guy promising this guy fights, promising that guy fights. You're already talking about Benavidez fighting and Devin Haney fighting in February, I think. So I mean, he got plans, and I just hope his plans don't get spoiled. David Garcia said, I think Pitbull is all wrong for Roach. I expect the upset win for Pitbull. Yeah, I think Pitbull's he struggles with boxers, man. I think that's what it is. And I think Roach, like the blueprint's already out there. If Ryo can do it, then why can't Roach do it? I think that's where I sit at with that. I know Pitbull Cruz, for whatever reason, looking like he's starting to throw more jabs, which is interesting to see. I think his last fight was kind of like it was a lackluster performance on my point. He fought against Omar Salcido, a guy who I thought he should have got out of there, and it was on late notice too. But hey, Omar Salcido, he's a tough opponent, man. He ain't no easy fight. He a tough guy. So shout out to Isaac Cruz, man, for getting that interim title. I don't know how that was on the line. You know how boxing is. That's what they be doing. Shout out to my man Z Pacino in the building. Yeah, Ryan from the six. What's going on, man? Shawa say, yeah, he started throwing jabs against Fierro. Yeah, in that fight too. That was a good ass fight. Him and Fierro. Great fight, man. Those guys, those guys were just throwing leather. I think that fight with Isaac Cruz won it, but I thought it was a draw. But hey, it's one of them things where it's like, hey man, it's a tight fight. Whoever wins, shout out to them. So yeah, now the Thurman Fundora is done. Where does that leave Frank Martin, the ghost, man? We haven't really heard about him in a while since the Tank fight. Obviously, we all been asking for him to fight. He's making his debut, I believe, at 140. He said he was moving up to 140, but we don't know where he gonna fight, man. We don't know where he gonna be at. We're not sure about Frank Martin, and that's unfortunate because I think Frank Martin is a good fighter. You know, he fought Tank Davis. Uh, it didn't go his way, but we shouldn't throw him away. That's the problem with us in boxing, man. That's the whole problem. Sorry. Shout out to the UFC supporters, the fans. You know, they still screaming when dudes got like 6, 7 losses. They still screaming on those guys, man, supporting those dudes because they like what they bring, man. And I think we need to bring more people into that realm of, yo, it's okay to lose if you're taking risks. As long as you're taking risks, it's all right to lose, man. Now, obviously, we're not gonna champion a loser because I don't think that's good either. But the guys who are out there putting it on the line, sacrificing, we gotta show grace to those guys, man. We gotta bring them back and show love because it kind of seems like that whole in boxing has became amplified, man. I think like you look at some of the best fighters in the sport, they've lost, man. At some point in their career, some of the best in the sport have lost. Now I understand Floyd Money Mayweather made that whole slogan, the O, right? He made that 50 and 0. I think it's 49. I don't really count Connor, man. He wasn't no real fighter, but he made that a big thing in his whole promoting campaign, and took it to another level. And obviously, he made abundance amount of money. And yeah, a lot of kids look up to him and think that that's the route they need to go. But they forgot about the other guys, man. Forgot about Sugar Ray Leonard who lost, Muhammad Ali's who lost, Sugar Ray Robinson. All them dudes is ATGs, man. They one of them ones. And they all lost, but they still came back and triumphed. Like they won the next big fight. And that's what we want to see. Is if you lose, how you gonna get back up? Right? Not just UFC fans, international UK fans don't care about tough losses either. This is a current USA boxing issue. Yeah, I agree with you. Actually, you are correct, my man. WP 3636. The UK fans are good, man, because I just saw Dave Allen fight against Arson Beck, and that was a packed out. I don't know what that was, arena, stadium. It wasn't a stadium, but it was like a smaller arena. Probably fit like 10,000. It was packed out. And Dave Allen has 7 losses, and Arson Beck has losses as well. So shout out to the UK fans because they do support their guys. I think if a big enough fight comes here to Canada, they support too. I think when Beterbiev fought Callum Smith in Montreal, they had a huge winter storm, bro. It was bad, and still 10,000 people showed up to that driving in the snow. Just crazy. But I agree, man. David Garcia said Frank's career went with Errol's career. Oh man. He is truly the ghost now. Yeah, man. I hope Frank can get back in. He doesn't need any more time off, bro. Frank Martin got to get busy. 140 is a good division. There's a lot of good fights there for Frank Martin. I think you attach his name to it. We can still get the Keyshawn Davis and Frank Martin fight. I don't know where Keyshawn Davis is doing, but I think Keyshawn Davis, if you call him up and say, yo, we got Frank Martin, he can get in the gym for that. I would hope so. Because that's one hell of a fight, man. So I think Frank Martin, despite the loss, man, he lost to a great fighter in Tank Davis. He will definitely be back, man. He'll definitely be back. But it's just a matter of time of Frank getting in the ring, man, because Frank, you can't make things shake if you're not being active, man. We got nothing really to go off other than you getting knocked out by Tank Davis, and that's not good, bro. That's not a good thing. We need more. We need something else. We need the performance, and I don't even know if Rathern, I forget his name, who's gonna fight Kid Blast, was gonna be a good enough matchup. I think his style that he fights is also not great for boxing. So I just feel like for Frank Martin, that would have been a bad look, man, if that fight turned out to look bad, right? But who knows, man? Who they gonna get him next? I think they got options out there now. They can definitely find him a better opponent, in my opinion. It's just a matter of time, man. And they really gotta put together something for Frank Martin. Whether it's Errol Spence or the PBC, I think for sure he can get a better fight than he had. But it was a tune-up, right? So it was a tune-up. So they're gonna treat it like that. But I just dropped the link in the channel there if you're on YouTube and you want to call into the show and chop it up with me. Go ahead, man. I got the link in there. If you on X, you want to talk, you got to come over to YouTube, man. My channel is Boxing Talk Up North on YouTube. You want to come over here and chop it up and let me know what's going on. Yeah, man. Anything you guys want to talk about for sure, just call into the show. We can get it cracking. But make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. That'd be appreciative. Obviously support the channel, bro. Let the people know. Let the boxing fans know we out here talking that boxing shit. Shawa said I wasn't mad at Thurman. I forget his last name, man. How to say that shit on his return. But yo, Rance has been out the ring probably longer than Frank. I don't know, man. That's my whole thing. It's like these two dudes are just. I get it. They PBC fighters, so PBC got to get these guys active. They both got to get paid, so I get it. Frank versus De Los Santos. What you got, Ryan? Ooh, that's a good fight, man. I think I got Frank. I think that's a good fight though. I don't know if that's a fight to come back with because I think both guys you can build that fight up. I think both of them you can have them on the prelims. You can have Frank Martin fighting somebody, and you can have De Los Santos fighting somebody. Then you could talk about that fight next for either guy. Should they make it past they little tune-ups? I think that's how you build it, right? But for sure, man, that's a good fight. She said facts. Yeah, he laughing at me. Yeah, he got a crazy last name, man. That Cuban dude. I never been a fan of his style, man. I always felt like his fights were boring though, Francis. It would have been to come back because Edwin been out too. Yeah, Edwin's been out for a minute too. Edwin Dallas Santos, he left Samson, so I don't know if he'd even get on a PBC card right now. Or I don't know what his situation with Samson was, but he's not with Samson. And it looks like Samson's one of the main guys over there at the PBC pulling the strings, right? So it just gotta make me think like, where are we with that? Shout out to Edwin Dallas Santos for getting out the contract, but like where has it led him? What is he doing next? I don't know. I don't even know if he's scheduled to fight or you know, is he one of them guys who now he just oh shoot. That's on box check right now, and it looks like Edwin does have a fight lined up. Okay, he's fighting in December. December 13th in the DR. So he's fighting at home in the 8 rounder. But yeah, I mean Edwin's last fight was against Shakur Stevenson. That's crazy. I thought for sure he got in the ring after that, man. He's with Fighter's Fist now. Okay. That's who he's being promoted by. All right. Well, we'll have to see how that works out, man. Because as much as we want to talk about Samson and what he does with these guys' careers, I mean, he was getting these guys fights, getting them on big platforms, and I think you got to be on a big platform in order to get, the visibility. It's very key. If people don't see you, they don't really know who you are, man. And we know Edwin because of what he did to Ryo, right? He upset Ryo. That's kind of how we know him. And but yeah, man. So yeah, Adrian Clark and Jolene will get him back. Yeah, no, they do a great job over there at Fighters First management. They doing a terrific job with Brian Norman Jr. And I'm pretty sure they were with Earl Spence for the Crawford fight. Um, say what you want to say, but Adrian Clark got it done for Earl Spence. That's just what it is, man. But for sure, I think that Edwin Dallas Santos getting in the ring before Frank Martin is a shocker to me because I think Frank Martin should have been in the ring before Edwin. you know, but it looks like Edwin, like you said, fighters first got him active. He's going back home to fight in December, and that's better than fighting for nothing, man. Let's just be honest here. So yeah, the WBA ordered Shakum Giasoff and Rolly. We spoke about that. Rolly Romero, he may have to honor that. We're not sure yet. And if he is stripped, do we think like him in the Pacquiao fight is really worth it with no belt on the line, especially for Pacquiao? Like, I think Pacquiao wants a belt. Why not? Why wouldn't Pacquiao want a belt? You know? And then I got the big question, the elephant in the room. When is the PBC going to start building young stars, man? When are they going to give Cromel Moulton type of fighters the keys and start pushing them? And I say that to say when Abdullah Mason was coming up, we saw him all the time. I think the top ranked team, the promotional team, they understood it. They understood the assignment with Abdullah Mason, keep him active, keep him on every big undercard we got, keep his name buzzing. And it got to a point where now you can't deny that kid's talent. You can't unsee him. Now we want to see what he does on the next level. And I think Cromel Moulton's kind of missing that. Even though, he only got like, I think 6 fights, Cromel Moulton. Let me make sure I'm giving y'all the right information. He don't got many fights, right? But, even that, he got 8 fights. Even at 8 fights, I feel like Abdullah Mason was still very active. Like Abdullah was fighting frequently. That's the least they could do with Cromel right now. If they're not going to put him on main TV, then just go ahead and start getting him active, man. Fighting and fighting and fighting. I think that's the next best step. But if they can't even do that, man, it's like, what are we trying to do with this kid? I mean, WP said 8-rounder, interesting. Maybe that's the way to go. Do more fights with less rounds for guys staying busy. At least you are getting some income. Yeah. I mean, yeah, because it helps the promoter out. He doesn't have to pay you for more rounds, right? So I think for sure, that is a good thing. That is a good thing when you're doing the 8-rounders, and yeah, that helps. That definitely helps, man. But shout out to everybody on X. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. Shout out to everybody on Twitch. We got a couple people on Twitch, on IG, man. I really appreciate y'all for the support of the channel, man. Make sure you smash the like button if you on YouTube. And all my people on Millions too, man. Make sure you check out Millions. They got the Danny Garcia fight pay-per-view, the farewell. I think it's $39.99 for Danny. He doing his own event at the Barclays Center. It's crazy, man. Shout out to Danny Garcia. My man 56 561 Ray. What's going on, man? So I got Abdullah wearing out Cromel. Salute Ryan TBV, fam. Appreciate the show, bro. I appreciate you too, man. Yeah, I don't even know if they're gonna fight, but I do think that I think like Abdullah's way ahead, man. I don't know if Cromel will catch him anytime soon, but I do think that the PBC can do a better job with Cromel Moulton, man. I think they can promote him as the next star, as they should. I think they forget it. They forget like the future of PBC is going to be coming up here soon. And bro, the kid's cheap right now. So why not cash in on him when he's cheap? Why try to promote him when he's going to be, that star? Why not build him into the star with the company, keep him in house, and then, get the big pay-per-view events going with Cromel? Because he's got guys attached to him, man. Like you said, Abdullah Mason is one that's attached to him. Zaquin Moses is another one. He got rivals. So we'll see, man. Shout out to Alberto in the building. What's going on, dog? What's Going on, man? He said the Owls. But yeah, we got I think PBC's gotta do a better job of building prospects. I think if you're looking at them as a whole, that's probably the one spot that they're weak in. But they got the names. They got the names to go ahead and yeah, Scooter Davis, yeah, Shower, Scooter Davis. And I think Scooter Davis is another guy who, top ranked, they're in a weird situation because they got the lawsuit right now, so they not even really I don't know, man. They not really putting on shows. They lending guys out, so we might see Scooter Davis fight on another card here soon. We'll see, man. We'll see what's going on with Scooter Davis. But that's the thing about Top Rank. They're always gonna move their prospects. They're gonna test them. I just think that Cromwell Moulton, he gotta he gotta keep fighting, man. He gotta ask for more fights. I don't know why Floyd not giving him more fights. I don't even understand. Like Floyd not even talking for him no more. Really, he not really, putting him out there like he was. So it's just a weird situation all around Cromwell. And the kid, he's got I don't know how he be feeling. No, I don't know him, but you got to be feeling some type of way, man. And looking at the promotion, the way it's been, Richard Hitchison left, and he got himself a belt. You had Johan Ingram left. He fighting with I think he fighting with Misfits now, promoted. You had guys leave. Jaleel Hackett, he went out there to Matchroom and got some fights, and now he pressuring Xander Zayas for a fight. So I just think for sure there's there's definitely fights out there for them guys, man. They gotta get Cromwell active, man. Shout out to Alberto. He said it's still early in Cali. Just tuned in, man. I appreciate you, brother. Shawa said, yeah, he's a rival to all of them, and he's coming. Scooter Davis, yeah. Scooter Davis is a good fighter. Oh man, 561 Bray, he said he'll be on another level. He gets the strap off the Noakes fight. Cromwell need that activity. Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah. I think for sure if Abdullah beats Noakes, he definitely gonna be on a whole different stratosphere. Kind of like Keyshawn and Andy Cruz, man. Like when Keyshawn got the belt, kind of like we just were like, yo, Andy Cruz, you got to do something now because Keyshawn's just way ahead of you, man. We can't really start asking for that fight till you do something. Shawa said PBC and Top Rank in a funky situations. Yeah, we don't even know what's going on with Top Rank because they got the lawsuit. Shout out to ESPN, but ESPN not playing with their money, man. I don't even know why you'd steal money from ESPN. So I think Top Rank got to iron that out. Nobody gonna give them no type of network deal until that situation is all done. Say, yeah, Ingram got out of his contract. Maybe Cromwell needs to as well. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I don't think like Leonard Ellaby's not even over there with TMT anymore. Richard Schaefer, I don't know what's going on with Richard Schaefer. I see him at the Canelo fights. I don't really see him promoting TMT fighters. It's weird, man. It's weird. There's some guys over there at TMT, some young guys who need to get moving, need to get active. But hey, we'll see, man. We'll see. Alberto said Top Rank is done, Ryan. Yo, I don't know, man. They not done. I just think that they got the lawsuit with ESPN right now, and everybody's just kind of waiting to see what it looked like. Because apparently, allegedly, they were stealing money from ESPN, and if that's true, they're probably gonna lose all business in a sense of like none of the major promote or networks will work with them. Like who's gonna work with somebody who's gonna steal from them? So I think Top Rank will have to make a tough adjustment and either make their own, like do like Pro Box, go on YouTube, or I don't know, this Facebook Live. I don't think he's gonna do it, man. But shout out to O Wizard in the building. I ain't feeling the Facebook Lives, yo. Alberto said, I seen they were selling Keyshawn's contract to Eddie Hearn in Matchroom. Oh, for real? You see, I was kind of confused about the Keyshawn Davis because I always thought he was the ring ambassador, so I thought he had a ring contract. But I think those ring contracts are just sponsorships. I don't think they're actual promotional contracts. So yeah. I mean, sell it to Matchroom. I mean, Eddie Hearn, he was dancing around talking about making the Andy Cruz and Keyshawn fight. That'd be a perfect opportunity for it to be in-house. So he can get a couple fights out of that too. They still young. Shawa said, I heard Tom Brown maybe going to TKO. Possibly. I mean, Tom Brown, to me, he's a promoter for the PBC. He don't really have anything, like, he's not really tied to them contractually, I don't think. He just does shows for the PBC because the PBC is an advisory group and they can't advise and promote at the same time, right? Or else they'd be striking out the Ali Act. You know what I'm saying? The Ali Act will have to come in place and tell the PBC, nah, you can't be a manager and promoter. You gotta choose one or the other. And I think the PBC, they stand on the advisory side of things. They are an advisor, but Tom Brown is the promoter. So I think if Tom Brown walks, like, PBC would be stuck saying, he's a contractor essentially. He got no real allegiance to us other than Tom Brown been doing big events with him for so long. But I don't know, man. I think if he goes to TKO Group, it's a situation of where they just need a promoter maybe to do more events. But I don't understand because Dana White, Max Kellerman was telling me he's the greatest promoter he's ever watched, bro. So what the hell you need Tom Brown for when you got Dana White? He said, "Large." Oh man, Alberto said, "Who the fuck at Top Rank was stealing from ESPN? Yo, I bet it was Mark Kriegel." Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but ESPN sound like they got a case because you know, it's really bad, man. It's really bad out there right now. So I think he was helping put a few cars together last year for sure while Al was sick. Yeah, no doubt. Tom Brown was definitely doing that. Helper was crazy. He said, "What happened to that Blue Jays jersey?" Yeah, man. Nah, I'm gonna rock the fucking jersey. It ain't over yet, man. It ain't over. Um, yeah, our bullpen is absolutely trash, bro. Anytime I see a bullpen come in, I'm like, yo, these guys about to blow the game. But yeah, definitely Tom Brown going to TKO would be different for the PBC. That'd be a big blow because they use Tom Brown a lot, but they need to build Carmel, man. They need to focus on Carmel Moulton and build that man's career because I just don't understand how you don't have him in the driver's seat, man. He like they have free events that they can put on. I'm pretty sure they do free events in the Caribbean, other places like that. Why can't you headline or put Carmel Moulton on those main cards or those free cards? You know? But hey, we'll see, man. He said sweep. Ah, nah, we ain't getting swept. That's for sure. We ain't getting no sweat. Shout out to Janet Beck and Lara for making the fight. Finally, who wins? I think for Janet Beck, this is his first test, real test. We're gonna see if Janet Beck can handle the heat at middleweight. For Lara, man, Lara just been like aging like fine wine, man. He's still here. He's still dangerous. He's stopping people. Lara doing this thing, man. And I'm all in attendance with it. But shout out to my guy, Coach Eddie in the building. What's going on, man?
Man, what's good, brother Frazier? How's everything going, man?
Everything's blessed up north, man. Getting a little cold, but it's good, man.
Oh, you up in Canada, right?
Yep, Toronto. Yep.
Dang, bro. Okay, how far is that from New York?
Oh, we only 8 hours. 8 hour
8. Okay,
drive. Yeah, not that
got
bad.
you, got
New
you,
York's
man.
nice. What's on your mind, coach?
Yo, man, I heard you talking about Carmel, man. You know what I'm saying? I feel you, bro, but at the same time, man, I think that Carmel's gonna suffer from the Javante Tank Davis effect, man.
Mm,
He's gonna be drawing that same comparison. The dudes look similar in some It's some some fashion. I guess I'm gonna say the skin tone or whatever coming up on the Mayweather promotion,
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
similar in stature, and they just going to be calling him a carbon copy, man. He's going to be kind of like, well, maybe not as much as Larry Holmes was in Ali's shadow, because Ali casted a huge shadow, man. So Tank Davis is nowhere near the stature of a Muhammad Ali, but he's gonna find himself, with that constant comparison to Tank Davis. And what you really have to do, to be honest, man, you really have to challenge your idols at the end of the day.
Hmm.
Just like Boots, he's gonna have to challenge Terrence Crawford. If
Yeah,
Terrence Crawford don't retire. If Terrence Crawford is still around, at some point in time, he's gonna have to hawk that dude down, gonna have to show up at every press conference, gonna have to show up at every fight. Be like, I want this guy right here. You know, I need to let me go ahead and put him out to retirement. Let me send him out to pasture. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
exactly.
And the writing's on the wall, man. If anybody with 2020 vision can see, this writing is on the wall. But Boots has to take care of business first. If he's able to unify all titles at 154, if I'm Eddie Hearns, I'm concentrating all my efforts on getting all those belts. And after I get all those belts, I'm going for the big fish. I'm going for Terrence
Hmm.
Crawford, undisputed versus undisputed. It's my
Yeah,
time. Give me the same opportunity that Canelo gave you.
word, word. And yeah,
And that's
to talk about Carmel, like I think the only way he can escape that Tank Davis thing is if he takes on the danger early in his career. Tank Davis never really did that, and we criticize him for that. But if Carmel could do that, we gonna look at him a lot different than we look at Tank Davis in that sense.
I agree with that too. But then a lot of the old heads, man, in boxing, I call them old young heads. They always follow the protocol. Well, you ain't fought nobody. That's what they
Yeah,
say when you a threat. When they consider you some type of threat, you ain't fought nobody. You don't bring nothing to the table. We know all the talking points. You know what I'm saying? You need to go fight X, Y, and Z. And then after you
hmm,
fight these 4 or 5 guys, then I might consider giving you a shot. Because the people who complain about that having done to them, when they get in the position, they do the same exact thing,
right, right.
man.
Yeah, I never
You know,
understood that.
yeah, they do the same. It's like a vicious cycle in boxing, man. Because I don't see any of these up and coming guys, like he would be maybe considered a high risk, low reward. You know, kind of got everything to lose and nothing to gain. Because if you let's say it's Shakur, give this guy a chance, but they're gonna be like, oh, well, he was green, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying, and all this stuff. But if he goes in there and beats Shakur, then Shakur has a lot to lose now, because you lost, to this green guy, man.
yeah,
So quote unquote green guy. So he's in a predicament. It's like the changing of the guard. It's kind of like an in between the changing of a guard. Like Boots came at a time where everybody was kind of on their way out. If he would have been maybe 2 years earlier, he probably could have caught Sean Porter. He probably could have
yeah,
caught Errol Spence, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia. But he was kind of catching them guys. Man, we on our way out. Nah, we're not gonna sacrifice our reputation for this guy, because more than likely, I don't. Sean Porter could do nothing with Boots, Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman act like he ain't know who the man was. Well, that's a lie. You know,
yeah,
you know
yeah,
that-
yeah.
so it's sometimes all about this timing, man. If you can get there at the perfect time, man, you can do something. You can catch those guys, and it's like you know how it is. Like back in the day, man. Well, the older fighters, it was kind of like a duty. It was like, look, bro, your time is up, man. We need you to pass this torch. We need you to take one for the
Right.
sport.
Yeah.
And these guys don't want to do that no more, man.
Yeah, exactly, man. They don't want to do that. Even like Oscar did that with Floyd. Floyd kind of didn't do. I mean, he handed it to Canelo. He did say Canelo was the next guy. He stamped him. But it's just like, yeah, like you said, they don't want to. They don't want to do that no more, man. They just, yeah, they like this guy brings nothing to the table. And it's like, yo, he's a future star. He's a young, hungry lion. Like, let's see what he can bring to the table. Why not?
I know exactly. I mean, we even had legendary fighter like Ray Leonard. He gave Terry Norris a shot. Yeah,
Yep.
Hector Camacho. He didn't have to fight those guys, man.
Yeah, Hector Camacho. Yeah, and he lost to Camacho too, man.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
lost, but he didn't have to fight him, man. He could have easily been like, "Oh nah, man, I'm a legend, man. These guys don't bring that to the table." But he said, "No,
Right.
he gave you gave that's what you got." Even Ali gave a Spinks a shot. I just
Mm-hmm.
tired of these older guys, man. They just don't want to give these young guys a shot, man. Somebody gave you a shot. That's what you're supposed to do. And if he's
Yeah.
young and if he's inexperienced, then you supposed to put him over your knee and spank him and send him back in to play. But you know what I'm saying? But you
Yeah.
got these
Yeah.
guys. We're in the same business, man. If we're in the same business, I'm a young up and coming hungry guy. I'm a threat. People want to see it. Hey, why not? Let's make it happen.
Exactly, man. It's kind of frustrating to watch the sport go in this direction. That's why I hope these young guys don't follow that model and they just fight each other young and keep it going, man. Because we should be getting more trilogies, rematches. Not when these dudes is old, like 35, 36. Nah, man. When they young, 25, 26, 30, fight twice. Like this Brian Norman Jr., Devin Haney thing. I love it, man. They both young, hungry. It's gonna be a great fight. So we need more fights like that for sure. Yeah, man, boxing for sure. We need more younger guys fighting because yeah, we can't be waiting for Manny Pacquiao when they 30 something. We got
I-
what 10 years of marination.
Yeah.
Like
Even
that.
even even Shakur, he tried to give Schofield an opportunity, man. A
Yeah,
young
he
guy,
did. Yep.
young, strong guy. Said, "Look, I'm gonna give you a shot. You got everything to gain, and I got everything to lose, and I'm gonna give you an opportunity." And he
Yeah,
squandered it, man. You know what I'm saying?
that's what
It
you're
is
supposed
what
to
it is.
do.
Yeah.
Even though some people wouldn't give Shakur respect if he beat Schofield, man, I still think it's a good win for Shakur Stevenson. Like Schofield's one of the best guys in and around his division. So that's what you're supposed to do. Beat the guys in and around your division, man. Clean up house. That's what Terrence Crawford be doing. Come through the door and he clean it up.
Come through the door and clean it up. But now at the same time, now he's on top. Now he's turning into what he didn't like. He's turning into what he criticized.
Yeah.
You don't bring nothing to the table. You ain't fought
Yeah.
nobody. I got everything to lose in that the game. That's what he's saying about Boots. He said, "What does Boots bring to the table? He's high risk, low reward.
Yeah.
They all do it. Once they get in that position, they do the same thing that they despise, man. What about me? What about my opportunity? Like
Right.
even with Camaro, man, I think Camaro is showing a lot of talent, man. Like he need that marquee fight, just somebody to put him over, and it may be a former champion or
Hmm.
something like that. But he needs a marquee fight. But you know what it is? It's these spaces like your platform or different platforms now. They're bringing so much education to the boxing matches. Coming back when I was coming up, we didn't really have the luxury of people going through and dissecting these guys' resumes and seeing,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
when they fought, who they fought, what condition they were in. Looking at how much padding in some of these guys' regular. So we didn't have that luxury. It was just a nice illusion. Hey man,
Yeah.
this guy 34-0, man, 29 knockout. That's all we knew. We didn't know that this guy had a bunch of pad in his record, and and but it was a nice storyline. Now everybody, man, you can't even make a move, man. It's like I hear people talking about, oh man, boots get hit too much, but
Oh,
Fundora
man.
don't, but Fundora don't get hit too much. Make that make sense. So Fundora is good, but boots get hit too much. So what
Oh,
are
man.
we holding to the same standard because Fundora's defense is pretty close to Jared Hurd defense, and that's no defense at all. I mean, I love Jared Hurd watching him fight, but man, that dude defense was horrendous, man.
Yeah. Nah, Fundora, yeah, he just he uses offense's defense. He ain't really got no defense. His long arms is the defense. But yeah, man, you're right. They don't hold Boost to the same standard. It's really weird to see. Like, he go in there and beat this guy in one round and they mad. And I'm like, man, like this dude, I know he wasn't on Boost level, but to beat somebody and run around like that, it's not easy, man. It's impressive still. But shout out to my guy Ant McQueen. What's going on, bro?
What's going on? Always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure. Coach Eddie up here cooking with grease. I was literally having this conversation with somebody yesterday about having all of this information at our fingertips. Like I couldn't imagine what it have been like in the exclusively like either you just gotta watch TV or you gotta read Ring Magazine or KO Magazine, so on and so forth. And just wait for a month to hear
Yeah.
some information.
Yep.
And I also feel like that afforded the promoters the space and time to promote their guys. I believe that's another reason why we were able to get fights like Thomas Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard so early, because they were promoting these guys. They were
Mm-hmm.
doing a far better job. Nowadays, it seems like these guys kind of got to just figure it out, and then whoever becomes the big name, guys just latch on to that. But if these
Yeah.
promoters did a better job of making sure that we were all of their fighters, then I think the landscape will be far better. And another thing that's taking place now with guys like Turkey, even a Jake Paul, is like the path to the bag is different. These guys have always been fighting for money. You know, Larry Holmes, one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, he famously said, "We all fight for money. I'm just the only one to admit it." But the path to the bag was a lot different.
Mm-hmm.
There was no big media personality transitioning from their respective field into boxing, and now all of a sudden you got all the eyes on you. You can make these big money fights like a Tank versus Jake. So guys had to get it honest because they had no choice. But make no mistake about it, they were fighting for the bag. But the
Yep.
promoters just got to do a better job of promoting these guys. You said something a couple minutes ago about Floyd Schofield and Shakur Stevenson. Hell, I don't even know if Floyd Schofield would have got credit for being Shakur Stevenson. We would have spent more time criticizing Shakur Stevenson and saying, "See, I told y'all he wasn't this, that, and the third,"
Yeah,
opposed to
that's
saying,
true.
like, "Damn, look at Floyd Schofield. Look what he just did. He
Yep.
just knocked off a guy who was an Olympic silver medalist, multi-division champion, projected to be one of the greatest fighters of his generation." And instead of just giving him his props, then we'd be talking about how Shakur wasn't this, that, or the third.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how messed up we are as fans. We can't just say, like you said, bro, it's impressive as hell to knock anybody out in one round. And make no mistake about it, while Lima wasn't a world beater, I do think that he was formidable from a standpoint of him being a dangerous guy. Aaron McKenna is highly touted out there across the
Mm-hmm.
pond as being one of their better up and coming guys at 154. He effectively retired Liam Smith, who was no slouch. Liam Smith is not a bum. Aaron McKenna
Yeah.
retired him. Lima gave Liam Smith, not Liam Smith, Aaron McKenna all he could handle. Gave him a
On
damn good fight.
on
And
short
Bruce
note.
made it look easy.
Yeah.
So it's all relative.
And that's what people don't understand. Like I was talking to some brothers the other day on another podcast. I said it's boxing, man. I said Lima is a decent fighter. I'm not saying he's a world beater. Definitely not a
Mhm.
tomato can, because I know what a tomato can look like. A tomato can is a guy like 3 and 67. That's a
Mhm.
career tomato can, and there are a bunch of them out there. You know, shout out to tomato cans. Because without tomato cans, we wouldn't have all these illustrious champions, because a lot of these champions do have a lot of cans on the resume. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I'm just saying. But he just got caught. Is this any different than Erickson Lubin getting flipped in the first round? Is this
Right?
any different? Is this any different than Peter Quillen getting flipped in the first round? Is this any different than Badu Jack getting flipped in the first round? It happens, man. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, how many of your
Beck
of
the
our
Bully
of
a couple years
your
ago, Coach Eddie. Remember that? Beck the Bully was
yeah,
supposed to just walk through Gabriel
Gabe
Rosado.
Rosado, he
Yeah.
got flipped.
Got clipped.
You know what I'm saying? But so it happens. That's a part of boxing, man. I mean, the thing about it, how many guys have you seen get dropped in the first round, and then you look up in round 8, round 9, they're still there. They
Mhm.
recovered. Dude may even got dropped twice in the first round. You look up and 7 rounds later, they're still hanging in there. Boots got this guy in trouble, and he got him out of there. He finished it. I mean, some put it like this: Teofimo Lopez probably goes life and death for Lima. Let that sink in. And this was the guy they were saying Tio and Boots should fight, but we seen Teofimo go life and death with Steve Claggett. You think what you think Deron Ennis does to Steve Claggett? I mean, Teofimo Lopez looked like the elephant man when he got finished with Steve Claggett. So some of these your favorite fighters couldn't do what Deron Ennis just did. Some of your favorite fighters, they go to it's a UD against this guy Lima. I mean, I like Devin's not a puncher, but that's a UD. Devin's not stopping Lima. That's a unanimous decision.
Yeah, that's fact.
He watches him, but he's not stopping him. And Devin's not a power puncher. But I'm just saying, some of our favorite fighters couldn't do that. And Boots is held to the super duper high standard because I think with the YouTube station, YouTube channels, they do things for clicks and views. And right now, it's popular to heap criticism on Boots. So that's what they're going to do. That's going to drive the clicks. That's going to drive the views. So they're going to do that to get people to come to their channel. And then they're just going to do a smear campaign. And then 2 years from now, when Boots is on top, then they're going to switch up. And then they're going to start singing the man praise. Man.
Yeah.
That's how it goes, bro.
Unfortunately, it's kind of just like the Crawford situation. Like he's in that same boat before Crawford fought Spence, man. Like everybody had questions. He beat Spence, and then it's like, oh, Spence was, the car crashes. They start bringing up everything about Spence. And then Crawford goes out and beats Canelo, and they still gonna say things about that. So it's like, oh man, Boots Ennis, bro, just keep doing what you're doing, dog. Don't worry about that. This comes with the territory.
And just to piggyback off that, let's say Boots does somehow land that Crawford fight and he wins. You know what they're gonna say? Crawford was old.
They're gonna say exactly. Crawford was on his way out. He only fight once a year.
Can't win.
And let's say if it goes the other way, then we'll say that Boots was never good. He was just manufactured. He was a hype job, so on and so forth. It'll never just be, hey, man, great fight, great execution, fair play. And just tip the cap and keep it moving. Either way, somebody's going to be facing some type of criticism. I told y'all Boots wasn't no boogeyman. It's the reason why Cameron Duncan wasn't putting him in no competitive fights and so on and so forth.
Same thing they did to Demetrius Andrade. Your only loss is against the Mexican monster. Somebody who Canelo Alvarez is scared to death of, who been steamrolling everybody. That's your only loss. And just because you lost to him, you're nobody. You're a hype job. Last time I checked, David beat the brakes off everybody.
Exactly. And Demetrius was the only one moving up to fight him. Nobody else was fighting him. So shout out to him for taking that fight. But yeah, I agree, man. Like the boxing fans are so critical. I think that's why a lot of these guys don't want to fight the fights. They just looking at it like, bro, I'm not trying to wake up tomorrow, my phone be blown up. Memes everywhere.
I don't even think it's the fighters though, Ryan. I think it's actually a step beyond them. I think their handlers don't want to put them in the fights because boxing is not one of those sports like basketball or football, just any of the major sports where you sign a contract and you have guaranteed money regardless of the results.
Yeah.
Boxing is heavily predicated on marketability, and marketability is largely So to your point about the memes, do you think that the promoters want that? Hell no.
Yeah.
So you want to keep your guy in pristine condition. You want to pad the record like Coach Eddie was saying. We got to make him look like a killer. I'm not saying that these guys aren't killers because I believe Boots is a killer. I mean, you look at the guy, he jumps off the screen. He just jumps off the screen. A lot of these guys do. But the promoters got to make sure that these guys look the part. Forget about being the part. They got to look the part. We got to be able to sell it to you. So we can't afford to have these guys going life and death or potentially losing with somebody. Now we can't promote this guy as a boogeyman. We can't look into the camera and say, this guy, that guy, this guy, that guy don't want to fight my guy.
Yeah.
How the hell can I sell that to you if I see him go out there and struggle with somebody? So they got to be able to get guys out of there with relative ease and continue to promote that to us, the fans. And then they also play on the whole legacy thing with chasing after all of the belts, whoop-de-whoop-whoop. Because if they were to tell us, hey, we're trying to get our clients the most lucrative fights possible, what the hell is in it for us?
Mm-hmm.
There's no bragging rights in that.
Nah, I agree, man. It is the managers, it is the promoters, because they got the investment right in these guys. But I also think like if you put your guy in tough and he looks vulnerable, then it adds suspense to the big fight. Like we looked at the Madrimov and Crawford fight, and we're like, yo, there's no way he beating Canelo. But the dude went out there and made the Canelo fight look easier than the Madrimov fight. Like, so it just adds that suspense to it. But Styles makes fight. We all know that. It's just Styles. And Canelo's not moving like no Madrimov. So that's why that fight looked a certain way. But yeah, I think when you make a guy struggle, man, it adds suspense to it. For sure. You know, Virgil Ortiz, when he got dropped by Boychuk, we all questioned, can he hang at 54?
I think even Bivol, I think when he looked ordinary, you know, some of his fights, they were like, oh man, he's kind of didn't look great against this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, Canelo's gonna cook him. You know, that's what Canelo looked at. Oh man, he struggled with this. Was, you know, just didn't look stellar. So, you know, that's what a lot of fighters try to look for weaknesses, or try to look for kinks in guys' armor. And a lot of times it's the opponent, man. You know, if there's no sense of urgency or no sense of danger, man, you just kind of go through the motion. Like, just another day in the office, and you kind of perform maybe not up to your best of ability. But when you have a real element of danger, like when he fought Peterbiev, that was a real element right there. So you seen the best of Bivol, because he know he had to bring his best to defeat this guy, and not wind up being the victim number 20 who just, you know, on the knockout streak. But like I say, a lot of these promoters, they're kind of parking their. I'm gonna use an analogy of a car. You got a brand new car, and instead of parking it up next to other cars, you're gonna park way off so nobody dings the door, so you can keep it in good shape. And you're gonna take all back roads and not put it on the highway and in traffic, because you don't want to crash it, or somebody run into it, or somebody cut you off, and you have have an accident. And you know, basically putting training wheels on these fighters and stuff. But at some point in time, one thing I say about Eddie Hearn, man, like him or not, Eddie Hearn will take them training wheels off on you, and he will put you in a fight that you can lose at some point in time. He ain't gonna hold your hand the whole time. He'll hold your hand for a little while, but at some point in time, he gonna throw you in there, you know, and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he done it with AJ. He done it with Kell Brook. He done it with a lot of his fighters, man. And some of Eddie Hearn's fighters, I mean, sometimes they lose because he put them in competitive matchups. It's not up to the promoter to win the fight for the fighter. That's up to the fighter and the trainer. My job as promoter is to get you in a position to get you the biggest payday you can get and put you in the best fights possible and give you an opportunity. Now, what you do with that opportunity, that's on you. I'm the promoter. I'm not training you. I'm just getting you fights. That's up to your team. That's up to you. And people want to blame the promoter. You can't blame the. I mean, at some point in time, you could blame the promoter or the matchmaker, but if you're on a world level, you can't blame a matchmaker for him putting you in a tough fight. You want to be a champion or what? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's what you got to go through, man. Not gonna be easy. No, I agree, man. I think for sure, like I think Boots Ennis will be fine. I think he'll get a good fight next. It'll be interesting to see who they pull. I don't think it's gonna be Virgil next, though. I don't think that fight's happening next.
Yo, now you said that, I'm gonna tell you why. I think you 100% spot on that it's not gonna be Virgil, man. And I'm gonna tell you why. I've been preaching this. Virgil will fight with me, and it'll be a war. And I'm almost 50 years old. He'll fight with a squirrel, and it'll be a 12-round knockdown, drag out fight. He has no. Every time Virgil fight, it looks like he's been in a car accident. And when he fights Lubin, he's gonna look like he's been in a car accident. And Oscar De La Hoya be like, you know, we just came off a tough fight. We're gonna take a little time off, you know, talk to the team, you know, see what we can do, and we'll think about that later. Virgil deserves, you know, maybe a little time off to rest. You know, he's been taking a lot of tough fights. That's Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya knows the game, man. So what Boots need to do is go ahead and fight Baccarin. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and fight that. That way, now you the champion. Now, you know what I'm saying? Now that boosts the profile of that fight to give you more leverage at the negotiating table. Therefore, you're gonna make more money. So you're gonna get the lion's share of the money because you're the A side, you're the champion, and Virgil Ortiz is the challenger. You know what I'm saying? And Bacrum, that's a win. That's a fight that you can win, man. And Turkey Al-Sheikh will finance that fight. You don't have to worry about Eddie Hearn paying for that fight. That's a fight that Turkey wants.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's just
true.
gonna just boost your profile right there. Because like I said, he's not fighting Ortiz, Nick. I don't even know if Ortiz is gonna win this fight. You know what I'm
That's
saying? I have
fact.
doubts.
Yeah, Lubin, yeah, he's coming to spoil the party. And he should. He should. I mean, he picked Ortiz instead of Bacrum, essentially. So you gotta think he sees something.
From my understanding, some of that has to do with Backrum's team. Apparently, they're trying to secure a certain number because also that Josh Kelly fight, there were talks about that. That didn't come to pass either. And then Bacrum is on Twitter talking about, hopefully I'll get back in the ring one day. So his team, they got to sort that out. They got to realize, like, just because the guy's a champion, it doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to be able to command a certain amount of energy. You still got to be able to put asses in seats.
Yeah. I think he's with the main event, so it's tough, man. Because I don't even know the last show they promoted.
Kaki Duva.
Yeah. And it's like, man, you gotta find the gotta finance the fight. Turkey want to do it, but I mean, you know, like Coach Eddie said, you know, Boots took the tune-up. So I mean, maybe that's the fight next for him, Boots and Bacrum. That's probably his next move.
That would be a hell of a fight, man. I think that one would be a shootout.
I agree. Definitely agree, man. I think Bacrum too. I don't really know if he a boogeyman because I mean Tim Tszyu don't move his head, man. I've been saying that Tim Tszyu's like Jaime Munguia. He don't move his head. Them guys fight the same. And yeah, he just blasted him. Once he got him hurt, it was a wrap. But Boots Ennis not gonna be there to hit. He gonna move. So we'll
You're right. Yeah, Tim Tszyu made it easy for Bacrum. You know what I mean? He just stood there, tried to slug it out with him. And I've been saying this. It's like Tim Tszyu was kind of like something that they were just trying to force down our throat. I was like, I said, he ain't that guy, man. You know what I'm saying? This dude is always turning around. He's always getting dropped all the time. You know what I'm saying? He's fighting, journeyman level type fighters in the Gauchers. He's fighting guys like Harrison who passed it. And they're giving a lot of credit for beating these guys. They were trying to force him, like, oh yeah, this is the guy, this is the guy, this is the guy. And he wasn't that guy. He never was. And it showed, man, that he wasn't that guy. And it showed again when he fought Fundora. So now he's definitely in a rebuilding stage right now of his career. He need to go find him a couple soft touches, about 3 or 4 of them to get back in the winning streak, maybe spark up some interest. Then he can get back in the mix. But like I said, the Bacrum fight, that's the fight to make. Drawn in, he fought 90 seconds. It's October. I mean, you realistically, bro, you put me on the next card. Whatever card you're doing next, Turkey, put me and Bacrum on that card. Let me go ahead and collect that belt. Because I'm telling you, Ortiz is going to be on the mend, man. He's going to need some time to heal after he fights Lubin. Don't expect to see Ortiz till around about May of next year. Because
I agree.
He always gets busted up, man. He always get busted up every fight, man. And Oscar gonna be like, nah, you need to rest, bro. Because
not just it's like fights, Oscar, though, Coach Eddie. Also outside the ring. Remember, he had to get his hand operated on a few months ago. He just got hand surgery.
Because of sparring?
Yep, busted up his hands. Got a nice little scar to show for it on his hands.
Yeah, I think Virgil, he spars the way he fights. Virgil's kind of like a lifted F-150 that you just drive through the mud in the woods and just hit every stump in there and just mudding and it's an all-purpose vehicle, but those type of vehicles don't last long. Virgil's not going to last long because of the way he fights. He don't know how to preserve himself, and his fan base won't let him do it because once you give the fans a certain style, they get used to seeing that style, and when you don't give them what they want, they're gonna start booing you. That's why Fundora got knocked out by Brian Mendoza because the fans started booing, and that fool went there and started trying to go to war again and got put to sleep. And you know, so at the end of the day, the biggest thing is to win, get the win, secure the victory, and move on to the next.
No, that's for sure, man. That's for sure. And I don't even know where they go next, but I mean, a boss. It sounds like a boss trying to fight Xander. 154 got to shake. It got to do some more movement though. Champions got to fight each other. Unifications would be nice. I would hate for it to end up like 135 where there's a lot of standstills. The guys not fighting each other. They all there right now. 154. They got to fight now.
Yeah, and really, man, these guys at 154, to be honest, they're just title holders, man. They're not long reigning champions. A lot of these belts were picked up, either they were vacant or they were, just up for grabs, and they let number one and number two fight, or they just throw the extra belt in the mix just because they wanted somebody to hold it, man. And look at the defenses. They don't really have many title defenses. These are not Bernard Hopkins. These are not, Roy Jones. These are not guys like Triple G. These are not long reigning champions. These are belt holders. So if I'm Eddie Hearns, if I'm in the boots in this business, I'm putting all my eggs in that basket right now because AJ's on his way out. That's Eddie. Boots is Eddie Hearns' golden ticket. That's his golden goose right now. I need to give these guys whatever they need in order to get them in the ring so I can collect those belts. That's my leverage. My leverage is those belts. If I get all four of those belts, now I have a path to the undisputed champion, which is Terrence Bud Crawford. That's a huge fight. But I need those belts to state my claim, to make my case for why I should get this opportunity. If I just win and just mopped up the whole 154 division. Kind of like what Canelo did, how he grabbed those belts up like within maybe a year or 14 months. He was an undisputed champion.
Yep, 168. Yeah.
Yeah, so they need to do the same thing, follow that same path, try to get those belts as fast as you can, man, and just stand up there at the top of the hill and just beat your chest, man.
Yeah, Z Pacino, I agree, man. I think Ben Whitaker is Eddie Hearns' new golden ticket, man. That dude got crazy upside, but you got to win. He only got 9 fights right now, so we'll see. Like Boots Ennis is right there. He got all the fights already, man. Now he just got to go get the belts, get some legacy. You guys think he can beat Floyd's record? 50-0?
Possibly. It could possibly happen. But I say in addition to getting the belts, continue to do what they've been doing, which is establishing him as a marquee name over here. So I feel like Boots, what he does is he legitimizes Matchroom globally, because we know Matchroom, they've always done well historically in the UK, and he's been trying to break into the US market with Boots, with Shakur. I'm not sure if what's the name has some type of dealings with him. I know he was with that Japanese company, Bam.
Oh yeah, yep. Ben
Rodriguez.
Yep.
So it's like Boots right now doing 15,000 at the Wells Fargo, doing 10,000 plus in Boardwalk Hall. Like Eddie Hearn, he did it the smart way. Like he looked to establish him over here and build roots. So you keep doing that in addition to getting the belts, which also makes him more attractive because now you got the belts, and then this guy is also looking like a ticket as well. So instead of him just being high risk, low reward, now he's high risk, high reward if they continue to build him up in the fashion that they have.
Yeah, man, that's when you get the fights for sure. And it's unfortunate that's going to take that, but it's like Coach Eddie said, man, everybody's worried about what guys bring to the table now. It's crazy. Instead of just trying to be the best in your division, bro, being a competitor, say you're number one. Everybody cares about who's selling tickets.
Yep. But I mean, again, without that constant flow of cash flow, man, that's really what it comes down to is commercial viability. But I do feel like there's a way to tie them together.
Yeah,
you get the belts, and then you continue to put on good shows, good events that sell out. I don't feel like it has to be one or the other. But unfortunately, If you're just doing the whole belt thing, then you end up in a Baccarat situation. I don't know when I'm gonna get back in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Cause who the hell wants to fight you? It's just not an attractive fight. So I could
Yeah.
fight somebody else and make way more money, and then I still gotta pay the sanctioning fees and whatever else. Excuse me,
Yeah.
why do I need that again?
Yeah, that's why I think these guys got to start attaching themselves to big brands, man. I remember Triple G. He was a Jumpman guy. He had the logo on him, man. He was a Jumpman guy. Same with Andre Ward, Jordan guys. It's like we don't got guys attached to big brands anymore in boxing.
We got a
More for
handful of them. Like we got Anthony Yard with Adidas. That comes off the top of my head. Shakur Stevenson. He
Reebok.
has his partnership with Reebok.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm with you 1,000%. The
You got an
branding is damn
AJ
near
with
down the drain in boxing. Remember, once upon a time, it seemed like there was so many boxing video games. Like Buster
Yep.
Douglas had a damn video game. Evander Holyfield had one on Sega Genesis. You would
Mm-hmm.
see these guys on sitcoms. Like I remember seeing Hector Camacho on the Wayans Brothers. One of the most famous episodes of Martin is where he gets lumped up by Thomas Hearns.
Oh, Thomas Hurt. Yeah, yeah,
To this day, people still use that meme or use that
yeah.
one scene as a meme where he's got the knots all over his head.
Mm-hmm.
So we need more things like that. So you're absolutely right, man. Like tie yourself to some brands, increase your awareness, because this is what it comes down to, man. Celebrity. That's how Jake Paul was able to infiltrate boxing and basically skip the line.
Yep. Yeah.
facts. Yeah, you agree. Even you take AJ got Under Armour, man.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this and people, like AJ or not, man, this dude is probably gonna be a billionaire, but when it's all said and done, or pretty close to it. I mean, this dude got like 100, I think 100 million. He invested in Mashroom or something like that, so he's getting paid crazy, stupid money off of that. This dude is like a walking gold mine. That's one thing I say about Eddie Hearns, man. AJ's on the way out. Eddie Hearns is a great promoter, man. People say what they want to say about Eddie, but one thing you can't say is that I always see Eddie Hearns sticking by his fighter. Win, lose,
Yeah.
or draw. He's at the press conference. He's at the post press conference. He's at the pre press conference. Talking this guy up. That's what a promoter. Don King was the same way. Talking this guy up. You got to talk your guy up. Barbara Arum, he's old, so he don't do it as much as he used to. Oscar De La Hoya, when he ain't, drunk, coked out of his mind, he does okay, but the PB, even with the PBC, not to get down on them, but are they a promotion company or they advisory company? Where's the
Yeah.
promoter? Just like they don't
Yep.
have like a figurehead, and Eddie's is actually turned into a character now. And all good promoters at some point in time they turn into a character. Don King was a character. Eddie Hearns is a character now. Everybody like him, love him. He's got his own personality. They're gonna be, oh, he's gonna lie. He's gonna tell you that his guy's the best. And then what are you supposed to do when you promote the guy? You're supposed to say my guy's the best. You're supposed to say my guy beats everybody. You're supposed to say this. What's going on now? We have a lot of father promoters because the promoters have gotten lazy. They're relying on the fathers to do the promotion of the
Yeah.
son. Shout out to Bill Haney, tremendous promoter of his son. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Brian Norman Jr., Brian Norman Sr., he's trying to, follow in that same path, footstep. He's promoting his son. But
Yeah, he
the
is. Yep.
promoters
Doing a
got to
great
get
job.
back to promoting, man. Got to get back to promoting these guys.
Nah, I agree, man. Because the promoters don't promote. They don't, man. They just don't. We don't even see the big series anymore, like the all accesses and 24/7s. We don't even get that. I mean, Netflix did a good job with it, but it took Netflix to bring it back. I don't know, man. I think we need more. We need more from the fighters, but we'll see. We'll see, man. Boxing's in a weird spot, man. Shout out to Doc. He said, "You're right, Ryan. It's not the belts aren't attractive. It's a representation or lack of background, a combination of not easy fight, and bad promotion. Tim Zoo wanted the belt. He just lost. No, for real. Oh, AJ's a stakeholder in the zone. Oh, okay. Oh, that's why he only fights on the zone. That's probably why the Wilder fight didn't happen then. If he got money in the zone, why would he go fight on Showtime? Yeah, shout out to Wilder, man.
Yeah, I would like to see Wilder get another crack at something, man. I mean, I like Wilder, man. He's a good guy, man. I would still be interested in the AJ fight. If Wilder and AJ was to lace up, man, I'd watch it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Just so I mean, I know it's well past both guys' prime. Both of them been stopped a few times and stuff, and so I mean, it'll just be a fight just for like a what if fight. What if these
Yeah,
guys would have fought in their prime?
in their
You know what I'm
primes.
saying?
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
but it'd be
Unfortunately.
better late than never, though. I think they can promote that fight
Mm-hmm.
to some extent, man. To some extent, but I like the way even this new heavyweight they got Moses Atuma.
Yep.
I like him. I like Ake Cabiel. I think he's a problem. Even Daniel Dubois, man. I'm not gonna write him off just yet, man. I'm just gonna say Usyk is just phenomenal talent, man, and it is what it is. But I think Daniel Dubois still he's a viable player in his heavyweight game, and he's still dangerous, still
Yep.
young.
Dynamite
He's a
Dubois.
puncher. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna throw him away yet. You know what I'm saying? Now, one fight that does intrigue me, man, I want to get your take on this.
Mm-hmm.
This November 22nd card with David Benavidez and Yard, man. To me, man, that is a tough fight. David.
Yard and Benavidez.
I think so, man. I
Yeah,
could be wrong, man.
yeah. I mean, the thing about Yard is like he's giving the top guys trouble, man. I mean, Sergey Kovalev and Better BF are the only guys to stop him. But even the Better BF fight, he was having success in that fight. And I think if you're gonna look at David Benavidez style, it's kind of like Better BF. It's front foot, lots of punches. I mean, David probably looks a little bit better throwing his punches than Better BF, but I don't think he hits as hard as Better BF. So Yard might be able to handle that power, but Yard's I don't know. Yard just can't get over the hump. It seems like he can get to the big fight, but he can't win the big fight. So we'll see. We'll see what he could do, man. But Benavidez
Yeah,
hasn't stopped anybody at 75, so we'll
you're
see
right.
how he looks too.
It doesn't seem like his power that is transferred up and carried up.
Hmm.
And I think that was because David was really fighting a lot of guys that were 54. He was fighting a bunch of junior middleweights and middleweights that were blown up coming
Right.
up, and that's why he was looking like that. Able to like the David Lemieux and stuff. I mean, he steamrolled him, but that David Lemieux is a small guy, man.
Yep.
Really like a junior middleweight. You know what I mean? He got cooked, man. The Kyron Davis, he did well. He's a tough guy, durable
Hmm.
guy, but eventually he wound up getting stopped. But that was a middleweight that he brought up.
Yeah.
Andrade was a middleweight, who
Middleweight.
came
Yep.
up. So I think with the Yard fight, I think Yard is actually probably the first full-fledged light heavyweight that's fighting. Not only that, he's fighting a strong guy, and it's going to be interesting because Yard is like he has this weird style where he'll try to sit back in that Philly shell a little bit. He'll try to box with you a little bit, and if that don't work, then he'll get on the front foot and he'll try to bulldoze you and try to
Hmm.
push you around with his forearms and shoulders and elbows and try to push you in the corner and try to lay on you, and then he'll start hitting you with body shots to the left double left hooks and overhand rights and throwing uppercuts while he's leaning on you and smothering you, making you work. Same way he did
Yeah.
Lyndon B. Arthur. You know what I mean? Just kept him in the ropes, kept pushing on him, and we hadn't really seen David get pushed around. I'd never seen anybody push David around, and I
Right.
think Yard's going to be able to do that. And also, David's going to have to be careful with that one punch power that Yard does possess. He's a heavy handed guy. He can swat a little bit, so
Yeah,
you're
he's
gonna have to be
strong.
careful.
Yep.
He's very very strong fighter. I think Yard is more like maybe like a 8 round fighter, 8 to 10 round fighter, perhaps. But it depends if Dave is able to get Yard to use a lot of energy. If he allows Yard to sit back and be comfortable and sit back and fight him off the back foot for a little while, because he does have a nice little Philly shell. He'll shoot a jab. If he lets Yard get comfortable where he doesn't have to use a lot of energy early in the fight, it's going to be interesting down the stretch.
Hmm. Yeah, 'cause Yard usually kind of gasses out. But yeah, you're right. If he carries that power to the end, oh man, it could be dangerous for David. because he's a strong dude, man. And I hope Benavidez wins because I want to see him fight against Bivol or Better Biev. Like I want to see him fight those guys. But shoot, Anthony Yarde, man, he needs a fight. So he understands where he's at in his career. He needs a big win. Why not get it with Turkey Al-Sheikh on the main event? Big money, man. Shawa said Yarde will gas in 6 rounds. Oh man.
that's been about the norm.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get it, man. I guess it's the muscles. Gotta be those muscles, bro. Those guys.
But Yarde has went 12 rounds quite a few times. I know he went 12 with Lyndon B. Arthur. He went 12 with a few guys.
Yep. He's been the distance.
The only people that he really gassed against was, kind of top level opposition, which was Beterbiev. There's no shame in losing to him. Beterbiev exactly. And Sergey, he was a little past it, and he had Sergey, but he let him off the hook. You know what I mean? He had him, and he let him off the hook, man.
Yeah.
Because Buddy McGirt was getting ready to stop that fight. I don't know if you remember watching that fight. He was telling Sergey, "Yo, man, I'm about to stop it, man. You better show me something." You know what I'm saying? And Sergey just dug deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true, man. He lost in the 11th round, man. That's heartbreaking because he could have been a world champ. Who knows what Anthony would have went on to do after?
Yeah, even with those experiences, I think with those 2 experiences, that could possibly serve him in this fight coming up. Saying, okay, I made a mistake here, I made a mistake there. Let me see what I can bring to the table. And David, like I said, David has holes. They know every fighter has holes. So if there's an opportunity, for Yarde, he's just gonna have to find the right path and execute the game plan. Even with David Morrell showed somewhat of a small blueprint, but David was able to take over, at some point in time with Morrell. But I mean, David can be hurt, so it's up to Yarde to get the job done.
Yeah. Shawa said, I think it's the muscles too. And he used to say he doesn't spar. Yeah, I used to think it's crazy when he said he doesn't spar because I'm like, man, you want to practice at high levels. You want to do hard sparring so you're ready for the fight. But I don't know what their theory of that was. Shout out to James Toney. He said that's all he did was spar.
Yeah, but look where it got him though, man.
Yeah.
It's a double-edged sword, man. And I love James Toney, man, but that all that hard sparring is why he's in the condition he is right now, man.
That's true, man. That's bad.
It's a double-edged sword. You need it, but you got to be careful with it.
Yep. Yeah, you just can't be doing that. Taking a lot of punches is never a good thing. Never. But we'll see. That's a good card, though. November 22nd, man. That's going to be a good card.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, even with Devin, man, I've been kind of, at first I was like, oh, man, Norman by destruction. And I still think Norman gets the job done. But the way I've been watching Devin, I watched some training videos and just seeing that he seems very locked in. He seems like he's very focused. Bill's not talking as much. I think they're very acutely aware of the seriousness of this fight, man. I think that we're going to see probably one of the best Devin Haney's that we've seen in a very long time, just because of the magnitude of the fight. And it's a lot on the line on this fight right here. And it's a huge element of danger in this fight. This is not a Regis Prograde. This is not a Lomachenko. This is a guy who can seriously hurt you, in fighting Norman Jr. So he's going to have to be really, really locked in. And I like the improvement that I see with Norman. He's showing that his mettle. He's showing how much he improved. He's showing, his pedigree. That even from the showbox days, when sometimes he didn't look up to par. Now he's really like blossoming. Blossoming to this great little young fighter, man. It's a champion now who's hungry, who's knocking people out, exciting. And man, he's a dangerous guy. And not only is he a puncher, but he's showing that he has boxing IQ, boxing skills also to go along with their power. So that's why this fight right here is a really, really intriguing fight, man. I'm interested to see what the betting lines are and what the commentators and the pundits are going to say the closer this fight gets.
Yeah. Nah, I agree with you, man. It's probably gonna be the best fight we got on paper, at least for the year, because the magnitude of it. The guys are so young, man. They both in their primes. These are two prime fighters. Devin Haney, obviously the youngest undisputed male champion, and Brian Norman Jr. probably the best at 147 right now. And I just think like I'm pissed to hear that the Normans don't have a rematch clause, because I think they gotta have their backs protected, man. Like if Devin wins, you can't let him run off with the belt. But hey, they got to get it done now. They got to go over there and get the job done. There's no rematch clause, so they got to get it done.
Wow, I didn't know. I didn't know they didn't have a rematch clause.
Yeah, I thought for sure they had one, and I think it was recently. Senior went on the Boxing Voice and said they didn't have one.
Oh, so they 100% confident in what it sound like to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they don't have a rematch clause. But they won because Lomachenko, I think he made the same mistake when he fought. Who was it? Was it Devin or he fought somebody? He run up
Tio
against-
maybe.
Yeah, man, one of those
Tio,
guys. He didn't have a rematch clause.
Yeah, you're right. And that's the worst part, bro. Like that's why Eddie Hearn's so good. Like he always has the rematch clause, like no matter what. Like, nobody thought Ruiz was gonna spark out AJ like that, and Ruiz could have ran off with the belts, but you had to fight because that rematch clause was there.
And shout out to them that they gave him the money so that he wouldn't even consider running off. They like, look, man, we just basically gonna double you. We just basically gonna double your purse for what you made the first fight. We gonna double it. So he like, yeah, okay. But that's what happened. A lot of times they had these rematch clauses, man. But there's always an escape route in a rematch clause.
Mhm.
It could be a time. It could be okay. Year. That's a year. I'm not obligated to this rematch clause.
Yeah,
So
it's true.
that's what happens
Yep.
a lot of times. That would happen with Floyd and Oscar. You know what I'm saying? The rematch clause, and Floyd just retired.
He just retired.
4
Yeah,
years.
let it
He retired.
expire.
Exactly, man. It's always an escape route. I mean, even with Tyson Fury and Wilder, man, Wilder had to take this dude to court, man,
Yeah,
to get him back in the ring, man. He was trying to slide. He was trying to skate out, man.
he was, man. Tyson Fury always like that though. He don't like to do rematches, but I mean, he did rematches with Usyk because that's the type of money you just can't say no to. Somebody's paying you 100 mil a fight, you like, hell yeah, I'm gonna take this rematch.
Yeah, I think they need to go ahead and make the Fury versus AJ fight, man. This don't mess around with it. That's all. That's the only thing. Every time AJ fight, man, I'm like, man, why are y'all messing around with this guy? Just go ahead and just make the Fury fight because they'll put AJ in a quote unquote tune up or something. He'll freaking lose, man. You,
Mhm. Oh,
you
you're
know,
right,
you know
man.
what I'm saying?
His chin just not the same anymore.
Yeah. So just go ahead and make the fight, man, and get it over with.
Yep, I believe it. I believe it, man. They got to make that fight ASAP because, like you said, it's gonna be gone one day, and we're gonna talk about AJ like, hey, you didn't fight, Tyson Fury, Wilder. I mean, he fought everybody else, but we want to see those fights.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. What are you trying to do? I mean, the guy's 35, 36-year old. He don't need a tune up. He don't need to be rebuilt. I mean, it is what it is, man. He's not getting any better. Just go ahead and just make those two fights. You make the Wilder fight, you make the Fury fight, and you live with the results, man.
Yeah, man.
And that's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just retire.
For real, for real. Shout out to Shawa. Thomas Hill in the building. What's going on, Thomas Hill? that great combo. Ryan Fraser and Eddie raise up. But yeah, Coach Eddie, I'm gonna head on out, my man. Try to get some
All right, my
shit
brother. I'm
done
about to
around
get
this
back to work,
house.
man.
I
Yes, sir. You stay
appreciate
up,
you
man.
for
Peace.
tapping in, man. I really appreciate that.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
for supporting
Stay
the
up.
channel, my man. Coach Eddie, ATL, man. I know what it is. Shout out to everybody who tuned on in, man. Shout out to everybody who showed support to the channel. Shout out to my man Malcolm, became a member for 2 months. I really appreciate y'all, man. I try to pop in for the day show, and get it popping, man. Yeah, he's so chill, even when you angry by someone. Praise to God. Oh man. Yeah, I appreciate all y'all for tapping in with me, man. Did a couple hours here. Finna wrap it up. Thanks for supporting the channel, man. I really appreciate it. Shout out to everybody on X who reposted. I think there was like 4 people who reposted the stream. Thank you. It gets more people involved, more people interacting. We over there on X. Shout out to everybody on YouTube who smashed that like button when they came through, man. I really appreciate y'all. We going live again Thursday night. Working to try to get Layla Boudon, who is fighting Alicia Bumgarner on the Jake Paul and Tank show. She's from Quebec, Canada. Trying to get her on the show to talk about her fight coming up against Alicia. She's coming off a good knockout, her last fight. So she's coming in with some steam. And her and Alicia, they gonna fight 3-rounders. 3-minute rounds. They gonna fight 10 3-minute rounds and or 12. I think 12 3-minute rounds. And I think all the belts or Alicia's belts are on the line except for obviously WBC because they're not approving that format for the women. So hopefully I can get her on. She does have a tight schedule, so it might be a different time show, but I'll try to let y'all know in advance. And yeah, man, I just want to get her perspective because it's tough being a Canadian man getting into the business of the big fights. So I can only understand or can only think of how hard it is as a woman, coming up the women ranks in Canadian boxing and making it up. But shout out to Jake Paul. He's been doing this. That's his purpose in the sport right now is to raise women's boxing up, and he's doing a tremendous job of doing it. I like what he's doing. He's giving everybody opportunity, and you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But shout out to everybody who tuned on in. Shout out to all the members. I really appreciate y'all. And if you didn't already, man, subscribe to the channel. Like I said, we are going live again on Thursday, October 16th, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Pacific. We'll talk about Danny Garcia's farewell Brooklyn card. He is doing his last card, man. Shout out to Danny Garcia. He's had a great career, man, doing his thing. And it's gonna go to an end, but I appreciate y'all. Make sure you smash that like button before y'all leave. You know what I'm talking about? And that my anniversary 10/16. Okay, Shawa, we're gonna have to wish you an anniversary. That's great, man. Salute to you. Shout out to Danny Garcia. He doing this thing this coming weekend, and we're gonna watch. I think Danny Garcia will go in the hall. I think he'll go in the hall. He's beaten 10 former champions in his boxing career. I think he's done a lot, especially at 140, and fought a lot of guys at 147. Fell short, but I think Danny's got a case to get into the hall. But peace.
Yeah. What? I will slap you if you don't move this car. I'm gonna slap you. I'm gonna slap you.